Annual athletic banquet. We've got a lot of good things to celebrate tonight, a lot of wonderful accomplishments from our student athletes. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for the evening. Aaron's has been gracious enough to sponsor our banquet. I'd appreciate if we give them a big round of applause. To give you an idea how the evening will go, we'll begin with our, obviously we like to eat first. That's, who doesn't like to eat first? So we're going to begin with our head tables, and the coaches will all get in line. We'll, as soon as they're in line, everyone else is welcome to fall in behind them. It'd probably be nice flow from this side over to here, and as everyone's through the line, once you're seated and begin eating, we will begin with our program. So at this time, all of you at the head table, if you would please, make your way to the commons in the lunch line. Thank you. Thank the Miss Judy and the cafeteria staff for providing us with a good meal tonight. They've done a fantastic job, as they always do, and we appreciate them doing it. I believe it's time to get the show on the road, so I'm going to start out with a bang. We're very pleased to have our Director of Schools with us. Dr. Wilson is going to come up and go over some of the highlights of the sports seasons this past year.
Thank you. We've had lots of exciting things happen since last year at this time. And first I'd like to say that we think that the fields and the courts are just an extension of the classroom. We're proud of everything you do, and we think that you learn a lot of life lessons on the athletic fields and courts. So we're proud to say that lots of things have happened, such as Skylar McDonald winning a state championship, our first ever. And we feel that we'll have many more. We feel that we're on our way to lots of state championships. But she is again past the regionals and on her way to hopefully winning the state championship again in tennis. So that takes place in the next week or two. We were runner-up district tournament in girls golf, third place finish in regular season district in boys basketball, third place finish in state competition in cheerleading. So those are some of the things that have happened, and don't forget, those were all with no seniors. So we'll have our first senior class, of course, next year. Some of the big wins, football, was 8-1 record with Madison Academy, 4 overtimes, and a shutout with Giles County. So that's a big win. Yeah. Boys basketball, 14-11 a record with the last place in district 2011-12 to third place in 12-13. So we went from last place to third place this past year in the district. And we hosted the first round of the district tournament. Girls basketball had their first district win over Eagleville. Girls golf beat Tullahoma and Shelbyville. That's pretty good for a little school like ours. And boys cross country was 11th place finish in Forest with all comers meet. So we've had a lot of firsts again this year, and as you can see, we're making lots of progress. We've worked really hard to offer all kinds of sports for everyone to participate, and hopefully something that we can offer all students so they can have something to be proud of. And again, first we are proud of our teachers for their academic program, and extremely proud of all of the coaches and their character, and that bleeds over into the children's future. So all of our programs hopefully teach the students something that will carry into their life forever. And thank you, parents, for your support, and we know you make sacrifices to help your children in athletics, and we appreciate your support and the support of all of our community. So thank you, and I'm not going to keep you long, so I know you're ready for the awards to take place. And students, congratulations for a job well done. We also very much appreciate Paul Henry for his support in the Elk Valley Times, and Mr. Smith, I'm going to turn it over to him. Tim Smith does an excellent job announcing for us, and I can't say enough to tell him how much we appreciate it.
I'm glad to do it. We're going to begin our awards and honors, and we're going to start with girls basketball, and Coach Kim Dye is going to come and make some comments for us about the season, and then when she's completed with that, we'll ask if the players will come forward to be presented with their awards.
So I'm the kid in college that the professor says, who wants to go first? I don't remember raising my hand, but here I am. So Ms. Janine's already said a few highlights about girls basketball from this season. Obviously, we're still a growing program. It's a work in progress, and it's made strides every year. I know it doesn't seem like it when an ordinary person looks at a record of a high school basketball team, but to me it's more about how much you improve, what the kids are learning versus how many games you win or how many games you lose. One of the highlights that she talked about, I'm going to go ahead and hit on it first to show how important it was. We beat Eagleville here at home, and it was huge. And it was a huge team effort. And when I mean team effort, I'm talking about 7 girls beating a team that have 15 dressed out on the opposite bench. Okay, that's huge. Okay. 2, we beat Richland at Richland. If some of you weren't there to see that, Richland has a very good girls program. It's always usually pretty steady. So again, when you take 7 kids and go in and beat a team like that on their home floor is a huge accomplishment. And the biggest accomplishment from that game was after the fact, their coach come up and said, Coach, your girls, regardless of the win, how important it was, they still showed class and sportsmanship towards my kids and our fans. Another important step forward. Also, we had one home game for sure. I know we had a few others on the road where we ended up with 4 kids on the floor. Okay? I know to some of y'all it's like, well, you know, it's just 4 on 5. Well, we played an entire 4th quarter with 4 kids on the floor and should have won. And the other team actually tried to stall the ball. It's 5 on 4. Why are you stalling the ball? Okay? So we were pretty proud. 2, it's very, very important to thank those who support you. Tonight I have my assistant coaches here, Coach Holly Hoagland and Coach Kim Brewer. If y'all stand up, please. For some of you know, I get really intense during the game, and they're the ones that have to put up with me, so thank you. 2, Miss Tammy Mitchell, our scorekeeper, Miss Cassandra, Miss Barbara Guthrie, I don't think she's here tonight, kept the books for us. Just everybody for your help in general, because I know sometimes we all seem to be a little scattered at times, but the job still gets done. So thank you all for that. I have a few things that I want to touch on too. Liz Gurley was winner for the FPU Youth Leadership to Washington. Is that right? Did I say that right? The what? Essay contest. I'm sorry. Essay contest. Jasmine Parks has done extremely well academically. Treva Thompson was made all-district as a freshman. She would stand up. So to go on, so to touch on more about Jasmine, Jasmine was chosen the Student Athlete Award of Merit for having a 3.5 GPA. So that's really, really huge. You can come get your award. Sorry about that. You're welcome. Okay, so I'll make it short and quick. I hope my grading material is not too terribly touched on. Again, we're just taking steps forward. The team has already been working out and conditioning with our football team. It's built camaraderie with both of the groups. And I think some of the guys have been outlifted by some girls, but I'm not going to call any names. But they work hard, and we're not going to ever come up short because of lack of effort. That's one thing I promise with this group. Looking forward to next year, we're going to have our first senior class. Pretty much the same group back, along with a few of our 8th graders from our middle school team that had a really successful year. So looking forward to see what we can do by putting them all together. And I think that's it. Oh, also, those of you that supported and donated to our basketball team and to the school in regards to my grandmother, I appreciate it very much. I think we're ready.
If the girls basketball players and managers would come forward, if you'll come up and stand in front here. That way they can look you over and everything. Liz Gurley. Lexi Horton. Tamia Baker. Jasmine Parks. Patience Thompson. Curie Brown. Treva Thompson. And Olivia Paris.
Kim.
They didn't want to come out, did they? All right, y'all can be seated. Now, Miss Coach Katie Hill will come and speak to us about the 2013 softball team.
Had this banquet been held March the 1st, things would have been a whole lot different as far as me presenting and doing different things. Unfortunately, on March the 2nd, I fell and shattered my kneecap. Emergency surgery was performed and left me off the softball field for the majority or the entire season this year. Had it not been for my assistant coach, Kim Brewer, the softball program and games would not have been played like they were this year. And for that, I am very, very thankful. Our softball team this year was made up of 9 players. If you've ever watched a softball game, it takes 9 players to play. There were 2 games this year that were rescheduled due to conflicts with other engagements, FFA, 4-H, an art show that some awards were won. And luckily with coaches within our district, we were able to reschedule those games. The girls never quit. These 9 girls were at practice, they were at games, 9 of them, 9 every time. We didn't have any illness, no injuries, thank goodness, and we're able to play the games that we had scheduled. If you notice in the program, it says a JV schedule. And we were supposed to run a JV schedule. We scheduled with these other teams in our district at a JV level. Come to find out, when some of these teams got to the ball field here in town, or we got to their facility, they were playing juniors. They were playing seniors. Their number one pitcher would pitch against our JV team. We never quit. We hit the ball, we ran the bases, we scored runs, we finished ball games. Beginning of the season, our first couple of games, we were run ruled. 5 innings, 10 runs, ball game. There at the end of the season, we were playing 7 innings, losing by less than 10. Big improvements. The girls never quit. I'm very proud of these 9 girls. I think we have some 8th graders that are coming up next year. To see this program grow and continue to improve. I can't say enough. I want to thank the school system here for allowing us to have a team with just the 9 players. A lot of administrations would have said, nah, we got to have 10, we can't do this. That was never an option. We played with 9 and played well, played every game well. Coach Brewer, do you have anything?
I'll make this really quick because I know we have a lot of people to get through, but these 9 players that we started, the 9 players that we started with are actually not the 9 players that we ended with at the end of the season. So where's Jixie Watson? I'm embarrassed, Jixie. Jixie, stand up, please. Thank you for saving our season and coming to play with us. It's an amazing group of young ladies, and every team that we played, every coach that I talked to, they said, I don't want to play us in 2 years. That's what they continue to say. I don't want to have to play you in 2 years. I don't think a lot of people aren't going to want to play us next year. We have our pitching. We have the girls that work hard. We are 1 season away from really being competitive. And I want to thank these girls so much for coming out and working hard every single day, coming to practice. Like Coach said, we had to cancel some games, and canceling games because your kids are so awesome off winning awards and doing things, that's a pretty good problem to have. So, yeah, I appreciate that. Are you coming? Awards? Okay. And one of these amazing young women, and one of the people who, this player, she gives everything she has. I've never seen anyone go as hard as she does on and off the field. Anything you ask her to do, she will do it. There's never a complaint, questions or anything. And she is winning the Student Athlete Award of Merit for receiving a 3.5 GPA or higher, and that's Taylor Bryan. Okay. I want to turn it back over to Coach Hill. I was very disappointed that I didn't get to finish the season with her, but I would like to thank her because behind the scenes she really was doing a lot of things, helping to reschedule some of the games, working with coaches, and things that I didn't get to do while we were on the field. And each one of these girls, these young ladies, if you all, I'm telling you, 1 more season, that's all you have to do is hang in there for that 1 more season. And next year we're going to be winning some ball games. Thank you.
If the softball team will come forward. Olivia Paris. Devin Balsama. Bethany Becker. Taylor Bryan. Allie Heffington. Haley Martin. Jixie Watson. Riley Fleming. And Rebecca Hall. Thank you. Now we move on to our cheerleaders and head coach Ben Inslee.
Okay. Just want to let y'all know, if my face turns really red and I start sweating a lot, that's perfectly normal when I talk in front of this many people. So don't think anything of it. For the cheerleading program, it's been one of the firsts for Fayetteville High School. We competed and trained our cheerleaders to perform in the state competition for the very first time. And one highlight of the tournament, or of the championship, that I want to let everybody know about is that our cheerleaders got third. First place was Blackman High School, and second place was Collierville. Blackman and Collierville went on to get first and second in the nation. So the only people who could beat you at the state tournament were actually the ones who wound up beating everybody else in nationals. And that is an incredible achievement for a first-year program. And in the middle of all that training and all of that hard work that a lot of our girls experienced for the first time, we had 3 girls to win the Student Athlete Award of Merit for having a GPA of 3.5 or higher. Those are Kelsey Elliott, Madison Phillips, and Mariah Carrillo. If y'all would come up, please. Anytime a program has a measure of success, it's sort of customary for, a coach to thank his immediate superiors. So with that in mind, the first person I'd like to thank is actually my wife, Tiffany. If you ask the cheerleaders who their coach is, they will probably say Coach Tiffany. And if you ask them who the sponsor is, they'll say her husband. But all kidding aside, most of the choreography that all of you've seen in ball games, a lot of those skills, a lot of those stunts were purely my wife's work and origination. And it looked awesome, and I'd like everybody to know exactly where that came from. Also, very quickly, a few more people I'd like to thank. Ladies, cheerleaders, very few cheerleading programs, even cheerleading programs with long, successful histories and traditions, enjoy as much support as y'all get from Dr. Wilson and Mr. Jones and all the administration. So I'd like to thank them as well for all the kindness they've shown us. I have an incredible team mom who was invaluable in lots of fundraising and the corralling of the children, namely her own, Miss Tammy Williams. Also, Assistant Coach Kelly King, who took some of the workload off me and my wife, especially during basketball season. She was an invaluable help. Thank you. And the last and probably the most important people I want to thank are the cheerleaders themselves. It's easy to come in and work hard and give it all you've got when you walk in and you have seniors and juniors as an example to go by. But you girls were the first ones to do it ever. You had no example to go by. Oh, I'm sorry, and Trevor. You had no example to go by. Everything that you pushed through and plowed the way for, you've done solely out of the strength of your own character and your sense of competition. And I would like to thank you for that very much. You all did a wonderful job, and me and Coach Tiffany could not be prouder of you. Now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Smith, and we can announce the award.
If the cheerleaders would come forward. You won't ever live that down. By Isha Pullet. Hannah Russell. Trevor Williams. Tori Brazier. Kelsey Elliott. Christina Gruel. Danielle Hickson. Aaron Price. Jixie Watson. Sasha Mays. Joshana Ray. Mary Kate Russell. Mariah Carrillo. May Clarity. Alyssa Knoll. And Madison Phillips. Let's give a big hand to our 2012-13 cheerleaders. We'll now move on to our girls tennis team and Coach Jonathan Brown.
My wife kind of got on to me last year because I went a little too long there, so I've made some notes this year, so hopefully I can cut down on that. First off, I want to thank the administration here at City for giving me the opportunity to do this. It's something I really enjoy doing. I also like to thank my wife for being kind of understanding during tennis season when I'm not there a lot, helping me when I'm not able to make the practices, matches, stuff like that. She kind of covers for me. Once again, thank all y'all. Couldn't do it without y'all. Paul Henry, he's at everything that I'm associated with. Paul's always there. Best newspaper guy in the state as far as I'm concerned. He's always there. He's already got his media stuff in for next Thursday and Friday. He'll be there in his city orange there, sitting next to me. But I guess tennis is a little different there. I have to go back and start talking about the state tournament from last year, since the last athletic banquet was before we actually went to the state tournament. But last year, Skylar, she had a really good season there. She had to get through district and region there. She did it without losing and really having a sweat to anybody there. She beat everybody pretty badly. She got to the state tournament. Quarterfinal, she played a senior from somewhere in Chattanooga. I think it was East Hamilton High School. Senior, she beat her 6-1, 6-3. Pretty easy, straightforward match for her there. She didn't have much trouble. Semifinals is where it got a little interesting. Had a long match there. It was well over at the 3-hour time period there. She played a girl from actually from Murfreesboro. Really good girl. Skylar won the first set pretty easy, 6-2. Didn't really have any trouble. Second set, if you've ever been to a kind of an away match, basketball, football, you know kind of how fan support can kind of get you back in it. Murfreesboro Central actually had 2 players, a guy and a girl, playing on courts next to each other. And by playing on courts next to each other, it kind of turned into an away match there. I think myself, Paul, Steve, Skylar's dad, maybe her sister, we had 5 or 6 people there that were kind of pulling for us. Murfreesboro had probably 100 with their little shakers and signs and bangers, and they were kind of making a lot of noise every time either player would win a point. The girl came back, won the second set over Skylar there, 6-0, just absolutely crushed her. It's one of the worst beatings I've ever seen her take. But all fairness, the girl did something that I didn't think was the smartest thing there. If I would have just put a royal beating on somebody, I would have probably stayed on the court and kept going. But the girl took a bathroom break. She took 10 minutes. I don't know what she was doing. It was hot that day, but went to the bathroom, come back. Skylar jumps out on her 3-0, gets a pretty big lead. But in tennis, obviously, especially with kind of the crowd there, nothing was safe. Skylar went up 4-1. The other girl started to find her shots there to kind of get back into it a little bit. About 15 minutes later, it was 4-3, and then 4-all. And you can kind of feel something slipping away, and that was definitely happening. It was happening quickly. The girl was playing really good. It wasn't that Skylar was playing any worse, but the girl had just kind of upped her level. And at 4-all, the girl from Murfreesboro got up 40-love, so she was 1 point away from being 1 game away from being in the state finals. Had a couple of long points. Got back into it 40-15, 40-30, and then the next thing, it was 40-all. And I don't know if you know anything about high school tennis. 40-all is deuce, and the next point is winner take all. So at 4-all, deuce in the third set of the state semifinals, they probably hit the ball back and forth 20, 25 times. And Skylar was able to, I don't know, somehow hold on, win that game, then close that girl out. And then probably something else that happened that probably no other coaches had to experience. I had a vacation planned to go to Jamaica. So it was a tough choice there, get divorced and go to the state finals, or get on that plane and go to Jamaica. So I think I made the right decision. But part of my compromise was that I got to have international calling there, where I was getting text messages and results there as soon as I landed. And she obviously, her mom was sending me, or her dad or whoever was there was sending me game-by-game results there. So once I landed there, I had about 25, 30 text messages at probably $1.50 a text. But it was worth it. She won the final 6-2, 6-3. Didn't really have a lot of trouble with that girl. Actually, the first text I got was from Chris Murdoch, so that really meant a lot that the other coaches here cared enough about tennis to kind of think about me, send me a text, so I really appreciate that. I didn't say it earlier, but the administration got me this really nice ring. Since Skylar was only an 8th grader there, I'm hoping I kind of get 5 more. Maybe I can look like Mr. T by the time she's a senior. Maybe get me a necklace, something like that. I don't know. We'll come up with something. But this year, the district coaches, they didn't make her play anybody there, so she kind of got a automatic pass in the district tournament where she was seeded 1. She got there, went to the district tournament. I guess it was 2 weeks ago. I think it was May 1st and 2nd. She crushed everybody, didn't really break a sweat. So I think she lost. Their closest match so far has been 6-1, 6-1. She's crushed everybody in the district. She had region yesterday. Closest match there was 6-1, 6-1. She won the final 6-0, 6-1. She won the district final 6-0, 6-0. So she's right there back where she was last year. Me as a coach, obviously I'm trying to find something wrong. I don't think she's hitting the ball as well as she is last year. I tell her that all the time, but everybody gives me a hard time there that I'm kind of being too hard, because obviously she's still crushing everybody. But part of the difficulty this year has been how do you motivate somebody that's won a state championship, that's kind of done something nobody else in this town's ever done before. So if anybody's got any ideas, I'm open for suggestions. Practice. Skylar, once the matches start there, she's like no player I've ever seen there. She competes harder than, she competes like she's 6 foot tall instead of 5'2.5". But there's nobody I'd rather have out there than her when the match is on the line. If she would practice like that, she could go as far as she wants to. She'll be able to play college if she decides to one day. If she quit practicing and just wanted to play high school tennis, she'll probably get to go to the state tournament every year. After she won the state title last year, she ended up finishing second in the Tennessee qualifier, which is the biggest tournament we have here in Tennessee. That's USTA certified. After that, she ended up finishing third in the Southern Close, which is comprised of 9 different states. She did lose to the girl that won the tournament. She finished last year ranked number 8 in the South in the 14 and unders. Since then, she's moved up to the 16 and unders. She's right around the top 50. By the end of the summer, she'll probably easily be in the top 25, pushing the top 20 as just a 15-year-old. Playing in the 16 and unders. All my football people here that like rivals know all about the recruiting system. She's a 4-star recruit in her age group there. She's, I think, the 3rd, maybe 4th ranked player in Tennessee in her age group. She's, I think, top 20 in the Southeast. What else? State tournament. High school season's not over. I think we're the only sport still playing. State tournament is next Thursday. We play at 9 o'clock at Old Fort Park up in Murfreesboro. Hopefully we'll have 2 matches that day. I think the state finals are the next morning at 9. The draws aren't completely out yet. I have seen 6 or 8 players that are in the state tournament. And if she keeps playing like she's playing, I don't think she'll have any trouble. I got home at 5:30. I picked up the paper. She's also the City Athlete of the Year, which is a pretty impressive feat for a tennis player, since tennis is not exactly your sport that you would think of when you're naming your Athlete of the Year. She assured me that her academic award has been lost in the mail there, that she has a 3.5, or maybe it was Mr. Young's fault there. I'm not sure. But maybe next year. One other thing, somebody asked me something that was kind of interesting today. It made me think. I promise I'll shut up after this. But they asked me the difference in her playing AAA tennis and playing AAA tennis. Asked me how she would do in AAA tennis. And, of course, I told them she'd beat the crap out of them as well. And I was at the AAA tournament yesterday in the region that Lincoln County would have been in, and I have no doubt she would have crushed all those players there just as well, and I have no doubt that she would be, if not winning a state championship in 3A, there she'd be right there with those girls, because those are the girls that she's playing tournaments with week in and week out. But that's all I got, and once again, I'd like to thank the administration for everything, and I couldn't do it without you.
Skylar McDonald. Coach Brown told us Mr. Jones, his ring size at this event last year, and I kind of thought he might be talking pretty bold, but he knew exactly what he was talking about. We'll now move on to women's golf and Coach Randy Ellett.
Thank y'all. I'd like to start first thanking the parents of our players for putting up with me and putting up the fact that they drove us wherever we had to go. And I want to thank you all very much. I want to thank the school board and our administration, Mr. Jones, Ms. Stevens, for supporting me in the first year of our high school golf team. We started last July the 9th. That was a long time ago. In order to participate as on a boys team, you have to have at least 4 boys. You can have 5. We started out with 4, but by the time we got to the district, had a couple of injuries and all, and so we just wound up competing individually with our boys, and that was Luke West and Drew Bradford. And then our girls, you can have up to 3 girls. You can compete with 2, and Caitlin Plunkett, Summer Shelton, and Kiara Dangerfield. Again, you know, here we are. Got a couple of freshmen and one freshman, one sophomore golf player, and we're playing a lot of schools with a lot of seniors and all. I can remember, Drew, I think it was you, and Drew's about this tall, and so we were playing 3 other schools, and out walks 3 great big tall seniors, and they're already talking about, well, I'm going to go to this college next year and play and blah blah. And Drew looks back and he's looking, and I'm about 15 yards away, and he said, do I have to play them? But Drew, I can remember Spring Hill? Yeah, at Spring Hill, I can remember watching 2 holes that you were playing them with, and you beat them on those 2 holes that I saw. So I'm very proud of you. And of course, Luke tries hard. Luke he's a great athlete, and he can knock the ball a mile. But now sometimes we're not quite sure what direction it might go, but anyway, I appreciate both of y'all. And now our girls this year, again, one of the highlights, and I think Dr. Wilson mentioned it, we played over at Tullahoma and Shelbyville. And again, in our district and what we play in the small, they have a small division golf and then the large division. And of course, Tullahoma and Shelbyville, we're in the big division. And we went over to Tullahoma, and again, Caitlin and Summer, both being sophomores, and most of the girls they were playing that day on all those teams were seniors. And I'll never forget Caitlin. Caitlin wound up, we wound up beating both of them, and Caitlin was the low medalist. That means she was the low score out of all the girls that day. And when she found that out, I can remember, and you're going, yes. And so anyway, and then they went on, and we wound up being second, or they did, second in the district, and then we went to the region. It rained about 2 days in a row, and rained, I think, even that morning. It was a tough golf course. They gave a great effort. Came up a little short in getting to the state, but again, you're talking about sophomores, and you're talking about competing against senior girls with a lot of experience. So they've both got a bright future ahead for them, and I look forward to hearing and seeing about y'all next year. Now also, I'm very proud to tell you that all of the four golfers, they made the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association Distinguished Scholastic Achievement. And if all four of you just come on up, and then Drew, I'll tell you, Drew, his average was somewhere between 3.5 and 4. So I'm very proud for all four of them. Summer and Caitlin, okay, and Drew, you're 2, and Luke here, and now the girls, they both lettered last year, and Drew did too, but you did it in cross country. You've lettered in cross country. Drew is he's a soccer player and several other sports around here. And so, Luke, here's your letter for lettering this year. And thank you very much. Y'all can just stay here if you want to. That's fine, because I'm going to give these out. All right. I started coaching golf in 1980 to school. And so I counted up, and I think there was a couple years in there that I was trying to talk somebody else into doing it. And somebody did it one year, and they said, no, this is too hard. You got to take this back. So I did that twice. So I think in total I've done it for 31 years. So I approached Mr. Jones not too long ago, and I asked him, I said, I really would. I'm ready to give up the golf, and I did this. I gave up the middle school golf, and I won't be doing the golf next fall. Miss Judy Toon from over here at the middle school, she will be a golf coach, and so the golf will be in great hands with her, and that's going to free me up to play more golf myself, And I've already got a golf partner over here, and the first time we played, I thought I beat her, but she said I cheated. But anyway, thank y'all very much. Wait a minute, y'all get these.
Caitlin Plunkett. Summer Shelton. Luke West. And Drew Bradford. We'll now move on to our swim team and Coach Kate Wheatley.
Okay, I know you're probably all wondering, swim team? How can there be a swim team? We don't have a pool in Fayetteville. And this is true. But these swimmers have such dedication that they're willing to, and the Patrick is willing to host them, but they swim at the Patrick pool. How many of you have ever been to the Patrick swimming pool? It is a bathtub. The pool runs about 90 degrees. Competition swimming should be done in something like 78 degrees. So for you football players who do football practice in the summer, that's what the swim team does all season long. They swim in a hot, crowded pool, but they do it because they love the sport. And to me, that just shows an amazing amount of dedication on their part, and I'm really proud of both of them. Our team doubled in size this year, so we're growing. We don't have a lot of quantity, but we do have great quality. Both of these swimmers are very good swimmers. They're very hard workers. They both gave me 100% all the time. They have great attitudes. They're really wonderful kids to coach, and it makes it easy for me. So thank you. For those of you who don't really know how the swim situation works in Tennessee, it's not a Tennessee secondary school sport. It's run separately from that. The state is divided into regions, and then the region is divided into districts. And we do all of our competition within a district, and then if certain time standards are achieved, the swimmers can go on and swim at the all-district meet, and then if even better time standards are achieved, they go to the state meet. So swimming is one of the sports where there's sort of an individual aspect and a team aspect, thank goodness, because the team is just too small to compete against the bigger schools, but we do have good, strong individual swimmers. Aiden Pace is our boy swimmer this year. He is a freshman, and he made region cuts in everything he swam except for one event, so that's pretty amazing. He's very good all around. He swims everything really well, and I have no doubt he'll have state cuts next year. Bonnie Wakefield is our sophomore swimmer. She made region cuts in everything she competed in. She placed 12th at the region meet out of about 196 swimmers in the 50 freestyle. It's pretty awesome. And she also made state cuts in 3 events, so she got to go to Knoxville and compete against the whole state of Tennessee. I'm really proud of both of these swimmers. I have no doubt they'll continue to excel, not just in the pool, but in school and in life. They're just that kind of personality that I know they're going to go far. I hope to see the team grow a little bit more next year, and maybe at some point we can end up with a relay team. So, swimmers, come on up.
Bonnie Wakefield. Aiden Pace. We'll now move on to our football team and Coach Alvin Palmer.
I'd like to start out by thanking the parents. You don't know what it means to us to have your young men there at practice so we can have a football team. And right now I can tell you that this is the last time I stand here and say JV football. We're so excited about this fall, and our young men have been working hard in the weight room. And those that have been in the weight room, you can really tell. You know, starting out, we got some young men right now that are almost benching 3, deadlifting over 400 pounds, and we're so proud of these young men for what they're doing in the weight room. And I'd like to also thank the coaches. And when I call your name, would you please state? Coach England, Coach Emmons, Coach McCormick, Coach Ross Bryson, one of my former players, Coach Rob Finch, one of my former players. Coach Dixie Williams, I'm so proud of him for what he done with the middle school football. And former player, Coach Billy Jack Neville. Well, like again, I say we're so excited, and I know that it's been a long night. It's going on almost 2 hours, and I could really talk a lot about football, but all I can say is Friday evening at around about 5 o'clock, the Tigers are going against a 4A school, Lewis County. Lewis County, a 4A school in which the coach, he and I go back years ago when we were coaching an all-star team. He is bringing along with him a former player of mine from Franklin, which will be the principal of Lewis County High School this fall. And so it's going to be an exciting evening. And John Strong, you know where I'm coming from? We had a little come to Jesus meeting this afternoon. And it was all about the term and the word compete. You know, I learned a lot from my coaches, and I know there's one in here right now, Coach Silver Fox Jimmy Ellis. You know, I told the players about when I was a freshman and how I had to compete. The seniors didn't like me. I didn't care because I wanted to compete. And so I started all 4 years. Then I get a scholarship and I go to MTSU, and of course when you get a scholarship that doesn't mean you're an automatic starter. So they put me on the scout team, defense. I was over there for 2 days because they said you need to take it easy on us because you're making us look bad. I didn't care because I didn't want to be on the meat squad. So I started 2 years on defense and then had a neck injury. And at the neck injury, they said, well, you know, you need to be a manager for the next 2 years. I told them I didn't come to school to be a manager. I wanted to be a football player. So they put me on offense, and I had trouble off and on with my neck. Come to find out, my neck had been fractured, and I didn't know it. But I competed my last 2 years on offense, couldn't go play pro. But for 35 years, I've been doing what I'm doing now, and that's coaching young men and women, and I love it. Now, before we hand out these awards, and I also want to thank the administration, the school board, and the coaches' wives for what all they have to go through, because, you know, we put a lot of time in, a lot of time. So thank you so much. And we're going to put in a lot of time this fall because I wanted this season to be set up in such a way that our first home game would be that first game. So you mark it on your calendar, August 30th at home. Okay, before we hand out awards, I want to hand out two, and I got a little teary-eyed, and if you don't believe me, the players will tell you that I'm a type of person that it's not all about athletics, it's also about academics. And I got a little teary-eyed when I had a little meeting with the team today. And these two young men, and I told them what disappoints me is that it should be more. It should be more than 2 football players. So next year when I get up and speak, it better be 2 more. There's going to be a problem up in here. Okay, I'm proud of these 2 young men. Student Athlete Award of Merit. The first one goes to Brandon Tunstall. Second young man, Kendrell Hall. Okay, if all you football players now would line up over here, starting with seniors, then juniors, sophomore, and freshmen, please. All right, you got them right there.
I'm first. I'm gonna get close to him.
Excuse me. Don't get confused. Where are you going? Yes, sir. You go right ahead. I think it's you. Maybe it's somebody, I don't know. Somebody left their speech here. Trevante Emmons. Michael Harden. Andrew Lawson. Gus Palacio. Darren Patterson. Tadre Shaw. Isaiah Thompson. Brandon Tunstall. Ryan Yates. Trey Emmons. Kendrell Hall. Sean Hall. Denzel Hampton. Donovan Potts. Cooper Shelton. John Strong. Matthew Taylor. Dorian Thompson. Cody Winsett. Joe Curry. Philip Dotson. Jacob Pig. And Cole Rowland.
Love you guys.
Yes, sir. We'll now have Coach Wendy Butler to talk to us about volleyball.
Good evening. I had the pleasure this year of coaching the varsity volleyball team. This team played a difficult schedule. Their district teams are very, very tough. Most of their varsity teams consist of nothing but seniors. I had a team that consisted of 5 freshmen, 4 sophomores, 2 juniors, and one of my juniors was hurt in the game, so she had to sit out many of the other games. These girls did a wonderful job. They are very, very good at what they do, and I hope that they continue on. I would like to thank one special person for so much help this year. Not only did she help me coach, although she wasn't listed as an assistant coach, she helped me coach, she kept the score, she did the books, she drove whenever we needed her, and a lot of times she kept the score and the books at the same time, which is difficult in volleyball. But if I could have Dorothea Thompson come up for just 1 second. I called this year a building year because, like I said once, there were 5 freshmen, 4 sophomores, and 2 juniors. Most of our competitors' varsity teams consisted of anything from 4 to 12 seniors. Although they were challenged, they held in there. Most of our JV games, which is where most of our girls should have been playing, we won half of those games, and the other half, most of those girls, we came in very close. The varsity games, like I said, our district, we did compete in a district tournament this year. At this time, I had 1 girl to make all-district team, and that award goes to Patience Thompson. Patience is also a sophomore. Most of those awards go to seniors. I have another award that I'd like to give, and that award is for Student Athlete Award of Merit. This child has never played volleyball. She came out after tryouts. She had the will to play, so I put her on the team. She came to every game, and she played hard. Originally, she was only on JV, and after watching her and having so much spirit, I put her up on varsity. She really, really did a good job. And the Student Athlete Award of Merit goes to Annie Hope. Next year, the girls will be playing a true varsity schedule as well. Hopefully there will be some more seniors on the team. Many of the girls are wanting to return. I just want to let them know I'm proud of them, and I hope that they remember to work hard and never give up.
If the volleyball team members would come forward.
Who can enthuse Patience?
Olivia Parrish. Michaela Pridmore. Haley Martin. Kelsey Mitchell. Angelica Pascal. Patience Thompson. Ari Brown. Yasmin Ford. Lakia Gilbert. Annie Ho. And Treva Thompson. Y'all be safe. We'll now have the boys cross-country team, Coach Chris Davis.
All right, I'm supposed to go short and sweet, right? Before I get started, first I want to thank my assistant coach who couldn't be here tonight, Jessica Moran. Miss Dodson, you can be sure to let her know I mentioned her. She was there when I couldn't be there. She really helped a lot. She's a former cross-country runner here. She's also a former college cross-country runner, so she is very helpful. She was very helpful in the races and getting the kids in the races and things like that, because this is a new sport for us. This is only our second year, and it's really been helpful to have someone who's been to those races, because I didn't grow up running cross-country. Most of you guys know I am a runner, but I did not run until I was in college. I also like to thank our administration for putting up with me as I come bopping through here and, hey, Coach Harry, come in your office anytime I want to and act like I'm at home here. And I also want to thank the parents, because you drove us to races, you helped us get there, and I won't mention some of the restaurant stops we had. We'll leave that story for a later date. We have 4 9th grade boys and 2 10th grade boys, or young men as I should say. But we ran varsity this year. Last year, we wanted to get our feet wet. We wanted to see what this was like, get some experience competing, and we ran a JV schedule. This year, I told them I wanted you to get the experience of running with the big boys. Now, I'll give you an idea of what the big boys are doing. Our top 3 runners in the state are running under 5 minutes per mile. Not for 1 mile, but for 3 miles in a row. One of our top runners in the state just recently ran a 2-mile race in 8 minutes. So that's what they competed against. So when you hear we finished 11th or we finished 22nd, that's what we're competing against as 9th and 10th graders. So they did a wonderful, wonderful job of competing. They worked hard. They got out there in the heat. We raced one race. It was 104 degrees, and they raced the race. We went to one race that's known for its water crossings. You may have heard stories about the water crossing. Well, it just so happened it came a monsoon the day or the night before and the day of this race. So I began to wonder and ask the kids, how many of you can swim? When we got there, the field that we started in was a pond, and the water crossing was waist deep and deeper. And they had to go through this several times. So it was a combination swim, run race. But they all finished, and they all withstood. And one of the things I try to teach these kids throughout is mental toughness. You do not quit. And they didn't. Now, I want to make one more point clear when you hear the numbers. It takes a different kind of animal to run cross country. These guys are my animals. And to go out there by yourself and run 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 miles when there's nobody to push you except the other competition, it takes a different kind of person and a different kind of mindset. When your legs and your lungs and your heart are saying stop, but your mind is saying keep pushing. And we play head games like that out there. We'll say things like, it's only one more mile. I can do this for one more mile. And they do, and they have stuck with it. And they continue to stick with it, and they do a great job. In fact, we've done such a good job this year that we've introduced a middle school team into our cross-country program too. And we have sixth grade and up running cross-country. And we're going to build a team for the future with our current team. And they're going to win. And we're going to see some state champions come out of this school. We've checked a couple of our times. Some things we've seen happen this year is we've had some boys run 18-minute 3-milers. Actually, 3.1 miles. And if you're not sure what cross country is, it's what it says. It is cross country. We don't run down the roads and the streets. We run through the woods and the jungles and the fields and the trails and the creek crossing. And it's muddy and it's nasty and it's slow. So when you can run a 6-minute mile through that mess, on the road, that's like a 5-minute mile. These guys are really going fast. When you hear us say we finished 22nd, that doesn't sound that good. But what we don't tell you is there were over 1,000 people running. When we go to the Mid-State Championships, we have over 1,000 runners that we compete against. So when we finish 22nd, that's saying something. When we go to the regional championships and we finish in the top 20 and we have hundreds of runners running, that's saying something. When we can take 6 young men and finish in the top 20 out of hundreds, that's doing something. And they are doing all the work. I have also some awards to give for academic merit. I believe that not only are we here to be athletes, but we're here to be students and we're here to learn. We're here to develop character, and we're here to become better citizens. And I'm very proud of my kids because, for one, our entire team has qualified for the Outstanding Scholastic Achievement Award from TSSAA. Mr. Eric, I'm going to leave this for you to display in the school. In addition to that, we have 2 students who have the Student Athletic Award for Merit for attaining a grade point average of 3.5 or higher. That one is Noah Young. See here. There he goes. I hadn't seen him tonight. I wasn't sure if he made it. Congratulations. Also, Aiden Pace. Congratulations. Now, because our team, as a team, also achieved the Outstanding Achievement Award, each member of the team is going to also get, and I will hand this out with their certificate, an Outstanding Scholastic Achievement Award to go with their certificate. So you will be getting 2. But rather than call everybody up here for that, I'll give this out with your award that you get for running cross country. I want to end with just saying thank you guys for working really hard. I know it's hot. I know I fuss at you when you walk and I say, this is not a walking team, this is a running team. But you know, you come through for me, you make me proud. You make your school proud because you display character. And I just want to thank you for what you do for me. Did I forget anything? All right, I'm going to let these guys come up here and get their award.
If the cross-country team would come forward. Chris Black. Nick Sisk. Danny Bryant. Aiden Pace. Jacob Pig. And Noah Young. All right, y'all be seated. We'll now have Coach Chris Murdoch and the boys basketball team.
All right, good evening, everybody. Just start off by thanking a few people. My assistant coach, Bobby Emmons, the faculty administration, and they do a lot of behind-the-scenes work. Nobody gets to see, getting the gym ready, getting the concession stand ready, and stuff like that. Ms. Tammy Mitchell and Ms. Cassandra Lawson, they do our clock, they do our books, so it's always good to depend on them for us. Mr. George and Mr. Dwight taking care of the gym in there. Mr. Tim Smith, the voice. So everybody asks, man, who's talking? I can't ever find him in the gym, and he's hiding out somewhere. So Paul Henry, who always takes care of us in the paper, and then the fans who come, and hopefully y'all got to see some of the highlights that were displayed earlier. And then my wife, I'd like to thank her. A little story. I come home from Richland, and James's tooth went through his mouth, and there's blood all over his jersey, and I come home, and she's in the kitchen with peroxide scrubbing. So that just kind of tells you who she is. So thank you. And as Dr. Wilson hit on some of our highlights, just the growth that we've gone to in the past couple of years. Of course, we started varsity from ground level, and last year, win 5 games, lose 18. Sounds bad, but it was just a stepping point. Then last year, we go 14-11. That's just another stepping point to next year, which I'm looking really forward to. I know the guys are. So just something to always look forward to. The direction's up for us. So, and just some individual awards. Kendrell Hall, of course, with the TSSAA Athlete Award of Merit, 3.5 GPA or higher. So Kendrell, come get your award. And then also I'd like to share James Keith and Nicholas Hopkins were voted in the District 9A all-season team. So congratulations to you guys. And thank you for everybody, and thank you for coming out. So.
If the boys basketball team would come forward. Andrew Lawson. Aaron Parks. Darren Patterson. Isaiah Thompson. Kendrell Hall. James Keith. Darion King. Michael Parks. Isaiah Steele. Dorian Thompson. And Nick Hopkins. And Tadaria, let's see, Runnels here. Here it is, I'm off here the thing. And Tavares Carr. Is that everybody? Okay. All right. Okay. Now we'll have head coach Drew Young to talk about our soccer team. Okay. What's all right, Drew? I'll get
Baseball. We can do baseball.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I was really hoping to go last. I had a 2-hour speech prepared for you. So anyway, I've got several awards to give tonight, but before I go into that, I just want to tell you a little bit. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of highlights, but we'll tell you that we've had some milestones this year. We've had some wins. We've had a lot of goals, but more importantly, they've pulled together as a team. Rather than going into a lot of things that I barely remember, it's been a tough spring. I do want to recognize some people that have been very important, namely the administration and the staff, the faculty, our drivers, our news media, our managers, our families, my wife. Or more importantly, I want to recognize our assistant coaches. If they would stand for us, please. Coach Al Palacio and Coach Mike Fusia. These guys have been invaluable. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes much more to keep me organized. So, these guys have been very invaluable, and I appreciate all their effort. I want to commend our players. You have my utmost admiration, respect. I do believe that better things are yet to come on and off the field for all of you. So I'm very proud of you. We've got 4 awards to give tonight, and rather than doing this singly, I'm going to have these players stand and be recognized for the sake of time. We've got letters, participation awards, the Distinguished Scholastic Achievement Award. That's for a team that has a grade point average of a 3.2 to a 3.5 as a whole, based on last year's grades. We also have Student Athlete Awards of Merit, which are individual awards for academic achievement. If you would, at this time, when I call out your name, please stand and remain standing for the Distinguished Scholastic Achievement Award. Dane Fowler. Nick Johnson. Micah Teal. Nick Landers. Alex Palacio, Gus Palacio, Isaiah Thompson, Thomas Woods, Carissa Black, Chris Black, Cameron Holman, Amber Keel, if you can stand. Eamon Morris. Cooper Shelton. Nick Sisk. And John Strong. If y'all be seated, I'd like to recognize the student athletes for the award. This is for individual achievement. Alex Palacio, Gus Palacio, Thomas Woods, Cameron Holman, Eamon Morris, Nick Sisk. So from our team last year, Bonnie Wakefield. Y'all can be seated, please. Once again, it's been an honor and a privilege to work with these young people, and I appreciate the opportunity. If Coach Al would come up, I'd like for him to assist me in handing out the letters and awards.
If the soccer team will come forward. Oh, what a team.
Oh, I thought we were over there.
John. Dane Fowler. Nick Johnson. Micah Keel. Nick Landers. Alex Palacio. Gus Palacio. Isaiah Thompson. Thomas Woods. Carissa Black. Chris Black. Cameron Holman. Amber Keel. Eamon Morris. Cooper Shelton. Nick Sisk. John Strong. Drew Bradford. Eric Fuser. Aiden Pace. Ethan Thornton. Evan Thornton. And Noah Young. Madison Phillips. Tori Brazier. And Emily Cooper. And if Bonnie Wakefield would come forward. Thank you to our soccer team. I didn't mean to be overlooking baseball at all. I just flipped an extra page in my program here. So Coach Adam McCormick.
Thank y'all. I'm actually glad that you swapped that around like that because I can tack on that extra 10 I shaved off. So now it's going to be about 20 minutes. We'll be out of here. We'll be good. First of all, I want to start off by thanking my wife. We've had this debate many times. I'm not sure if my job is harder or her job is harder because she gets to stay at home with the kids. And if anybody asks me, I'm going to tell them they act like her, but the truth is they're probably more like me, and I know she's got a handful. So I'm not sure who stays more stressed out, me or her. But I do thank you for that, and she's been very understanding throughout these 3 years of getting this program started. Additionally, I would like to thank my assistant coaches. Unfortunately, they weren't able to be here tonight, but without them, I could not do the things that I needed to do to get the teams ready and get them ready to play. Also, I want to thank the administration. Y'all have been extremely supportive throughout the whole process. Couldn't ask for a better board, principal, assistant principal, faculty, and staff. And I want to thank my bus drivers. Mr. Wilson drove us to many games. I want to thank him for driving at a nice steady pace so I could catch a nap on the way. And then I want to thank Coach Edmonds for getting us there in one piece. If you were to look at our record, we played 26 games, we went 1-25. That by far is not a reflection on the amount of growth and the amount of accomplishment we had during this season. Baseball becomes a grind. When you're playing 4 or 5 games a week, average game lasts about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. It wears you out very, very quickly. So I also want to thank the players and the parents for hanging in there with us. Parents, thank y'all for driving to the games to support us. Players, I appreciate y'all getting up every morning, putting your cleats on, suiting up, and getting ready to play. Because every game they showed up with a good attitude, ready to work, ready to win. And as a coach, you cannot ask for more. So if y'all would, please give them a round of applause. Additionally, we finished the schedule with the 4th hardest schedule in the state of Tennessee. With that said, we also had several individuals that had some outstanding achievements. Sean, Donovan, Mr. Yates, if y'all would stand up. These 3 gentlemen right here were in the top 10 in our district for stolen bases. I think the lowest number we had were 18 stolen bases. The rest of them had higher than that. So y'all can have a seat. Thank you. As a team, if you're a numbers guy, we stole 90 bases on the year. That is tremendous. If you follow baseball, you know that is a ton of bases. Also, Ryan, if you would, please stand up. Yates was elected to our all-district team. He finished. He finished with an ERA of 2.31, and I believe he recorded 45 strikeouts. The team was 4.35 on the year, which is very, very good. So thank you for that. Again, gentlemen, I appreciate your hard work. I thank y'all for the time that you've put into it, and I hope to see you continue to grow and develop and be successful, and I know that you will. Thank you.
If the baseball team would come forward.
All right, give me senior, junior, sophomore, and freshman. Y'all come this way. Sophomore, freshman are all the way on the Yates.
Ethan Hall. Ryan Yates. Sean Hall. Denzel Hampton. Zach Harwell. Darion King. Donovan Potts. Matt Taylor. Jacob Pig. Cole Rowland. Will Clark. Bill Flint. And Matthew Potts. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll now turn the program over to our principal, Mr. Eric Jones.
It just so happens to be serendipitous that we were able to have Coach McCormick up here with us here at the end. At this time, I would like to introduce Mrs. Clark, one of the baseball parents who would like to make a special presentation.
Thank you, guys. Mark so much wanted to be here tonight to celebrate with all you guys. He loves this school and this program so much. We both do. And we're excited for the achievements of our athletes. One of the most exciting things about our extracurricular programs here on Tiger Hill over the last 2 years has been watching coaches and athletes build competitive programs from scratch. And as these programs have emerged, we have been forced to field young teams to compete against well-established programs at other high schools. And yet, over and over, our teams compete extremely well. The program our family has been most involved with has been baseball. 2 years ago, in the last year of Fayetteville Junior High School, we watched as Adam McCormick literally built Fayetteville City Schools' first ever baseball team. With very little notice, Coach McCormick picked players and an assistant coach and lined up opponents for a spring season. Last year, Coach McCormick and Coach Rob Carter teamed up to simultaneously coach Fayetteville Middle School's baseball team and Fayetteville High School's junior varsity team. This spring, Coach Adam and Coach Rob successfully coached Fayetteville High School's first ever varsity baseball program. Together, these two men have brought baseball to Fayetteville City Schools, and we appreciate that very much. These have been challenging years for Adam and Rob, but because of their hard work, both the middle school team and the high school team are ready for incredible success in the future. Adam did not take on these additional responsibilities because he had to. He did it because he wanted our kids to have an opportunity to play baseball. Whatever our baseball teams accomplish in the future, be it district championships or state championships, it will be built on the foundation these two men have established. And for that, our players, their parents, and their fans will be forever grateful. So, Coach Adam, we have a plaque for you and one for Coach Rob, and the plaque reads very quickly, "In recognition of your hard work, dedication, and commitment in establishing baseball programs and serving as the first ever head coach for teams at Fayetteville Junior High School, Fayetteville Middle School, and Fayetteville High School, 2011 to 2013, with sincere appreciation of players, families, and fans."
We very much appreciate you guys. You've done a fantastic job. Ladies and gentlemen, the final awards of the evening are here. Before I give out these awards, I would like to give a special thanks to the Elk Valley Times and Paul for everything that they do. They do such a good job covering us. This is our Elk Valley Times 2013 High School Outstanding Female Player of the Year. This award is presented to Skylar McDonald. Ladies and gentlemen, our first state champion, the first of many. Our Elk Valley Times 2013 Fayetteville High School Outstanding Male Athlete of the Year. Another outstanding student who makes us proud in multiple sports, Mr. Isaiah Thompson. I want to thank everyone who had a hand in making the night such a successful and fun, enjoyable evening. Coach Frank Stevenson, I appreciate him very much. He worked so hard to put everything together. Somehow he always winds up not having to speak at these events when he puts them together. But Frank Stevenson is a wonderful man. I appreciate him very much. I also want to thank Tim. Mr. Smith, the voice of the Tigers, does a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you and your support. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Next year is going to be a fun one. I promise you the best is yet to come. Have a great evening.